This episode of Vic's Basement is brought to you by EB Games. Support us by buying your video games at EB Games. Welcome to my basement, everybody!
Hey!
Is everybody as excited as we are for all of the mountains and piles of video games that are hitting the store shelves right now? So many fun things to play.
Well, I feel like it's more stressful than anything else for people out there because, like, which game do you pick up?
Yes.
I don't know what to play first. There are too many AAA titles, and you don't want to, with all of these games, like every single one, it's not one of those games that you pick up and, like, put down and then play another one right away.
Yeah.
If it's Fallout, you're going to invest so much time in Fallout. If it's Tomb Raider, you're going to invest so much time in Tomb Raider.
You do have a little bit of anxiety, right?
Yeah.
It's like an embarrassment of riches, and you're just sitting in front of your choices, and you can't decide. I know there is that moment. Last night, I wanted to catch up on Arrow and The Flash because we were away playing Star Wars Battlefront, which we're going to talk about. But I also wanted to play a little Battlefront, which there's nobody on servers, and on the PS4, and play a little Fallout. And it's like, yeah, one of those things is not going to happen. And I didn't get into Fallout because I know that would have been the only thing that I would have done last night.
Do you feel like your video games have feelings and they know when you choose one over the other?
No, I feel like I have really ridiculous problems is what it is.
Okay, wait, hold up. We don't have problems. We just have, a lot of things to play.
Yes.
That's all. I don't want to say it's a problem because we're very lucky.
And truthfully, so much of what we are doing this season in terms of reviews is kind of behind us. We still have some movie reviews. There are still some new games to review. We're going to unbox one of them right now. But so many of the big titles, Fallout is behind us. We've already reviewed Battlefront. It's going to air on Tuesday.
Yeah.
We've done Need for Speed and Call of Duty and Tomb Raider. Some second opinions, and some of these titles are going to start hitting as well. So I feel like there's a bit of an exhale, although we still have Just Cause 3 coming in. We still have
Just Cause,
We've got Mario Tennis. We've got Xenoblade Chronicles. And there's probably 2 or 3 other big ones.
Who's doing Rainbow Six Siege?
It'd probably be me.
Okay.
Maybe me and Jones probably be doing that one.
Probably me.
Yeah.
Probably me. Somebody says, cheap tricks are the best. Says, girlfriend hates me now. I'm doing too much gaming.
Yeah.
I completely understand where you're coming from, but I feel like if you just include her in some ways, so just
you got to make your stories somewhat interesting.
Yeah.
You know, like you have to. You know how everybody gets around the proverbial water cooler and talks about movies and budgets and how much Daniel Craig hates being James Bond and bullshit like that. You have to do that around your video games.
Sure.
Trust me, 20 years, I'm still married.
He is still married.
I have had to, sort of frame the storytelling around games to try to make it interesting to somebody that's peripherally interested in the content I mean, my wife supports me in all the things that I do, but she doesn't always have the patience for the minutiae. So you try to make the story around why you care about games. This is, I charge you with this responsibility, everybody out there.
Well, or choosing a game that, number one, you can play together, or number two, if she doesn't want to play at all, or he doesn't want to play at all, then I personally find enjoyment in watching my boyfriend play a video game too. Like, it just depends on, although I am into games, but watching a story unfold. So if it's like a Metal Gear story, the cutscenes are amazing, or like even Tomb Raider, like you want to see that story unfold. So it is like you're watching a very long movie.
Is your boyfriend in the chat right now?
He's not.
So you enjoy video games.
Yeah.
You're into it.
Yeah.
You look like this.
Okay.
You've been with this guy for a long time.
A lot of paint on my face.
How come?
What are
you guys?
What?
How come he has never proposed? I'm just thinking, like, the women out there that are going to have the patience and support for video games. I know it's changing. I know that there are generations of people that are growing up with it, but you're very special. You're one of a kind, and I can't believe it.
Okay.
Right?
Are we actually
right?
getting into Okay, we can't.
Come
we don't
on.
need
Do
to get
I sound
into
like
this.
your grandmother right now?
A little bit, because my nana's like, Maris, why you not married?
Yeah, what's going on?
Why you not get married?
I mean, that's crazy.
Like,
you're explaining like you're watching your boyfriend play video games. It's like, that's a keeper.
Okay, well, no, that's not necessarily true.
That's
like
not the only thing you want out of a partner,
no,
but that's
of course
that's
not.
a keeper.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
and I know that you're a keeper, so I don't know what the hell's going on.
So
you know what? I think we should change the Vic's basement. Do you want to? You want to lie down on the couch and I'll just analyze you right now?
Like, listen, we've been together for 11 years. That's a very that's a long.
Her boyfriend and Marissa have been together, not Marissa.
Oh, not you and I. You and I have been together for about 5 years.
What, Marcy and I?
No, you
oh,
and
you and I, yes.
In a very platonic relationship for 5 years. But my boyfriend and I have been together for 11 years. So I just feel like once you pass a certain point though, you kind of just like, I guess we'll get married like eventually probably.
You know what? My wife and I got married after 12 years.
There you go.
Together. We were engaged after 1 year, though.
Okay, well,
all right.
Then after a while, I feel like that's worse, though, because after a while, it's like, okay, you're engaged, like, when's the wedding?
Nobody was bugging us. We were kids when we got together. But, okay, anyways.
We're not kids anymore.
We digress.
But listen,
We're trying to solve the problems for anybody out there.
Sure, relationship problems. But listen, I was just in Toronto, so I was visiting him, and we were playing a lot of Yoshi's Woolly World, and that was just like, I can't even believe how much of a relationship builder or strengthener that game is over Kirby's Epic Yarn, because we would do Kirby's Epic Yarn together as well.
And fight, right?
And I was
or the Mario games when you play those cooperatively, you're just bouncing off of each other.
Exactly, and I was telling you already about this, but with Kirby's Epic Yarn, there's that gem, all those gems that you collect, at the end is a tally, so you see who collected more than the other, so that's a competition within the game itself.
Yeah.
But with Yoshi's Woolly World, there's none of that. Like, you don't have any competition in-game, you're just helping each other find everything. Like, you want to find, of course, all the wool, all the yarn, because you want to make those Yoshis at the end.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this game. I can't even tell you how much fun I'm having with Yoshi's Woolly World. How I guess I expected it to be good. I just didn't expect it to be as fun as it is.
Killing it now. They're killing it. I mean, it feels like every week or two they have a new 3DS game or a new Wii U game that's only theirs. That's really fun.
Yeah.
And we play them, we're reviewing them. I feel guilty not just being in those worlds because they're robust and fun. Even Triforce Heroes, which neither Scott, yourself, or me were blown away by, that's still a hell of a fun experience, It's a chibi robo game.
Depending. You just need to find, I don't know, like you just need to find
I haven't gone back to Super Mario Maker.
Oh my God, I know.
It's been like so many titles from these guys over such a short period of time.
Listen.
And then we've got these other huge games that have also come out on the other platforms. I have not
let go of Animal Crossing Happy Home.
And
now we have that party one, the Animal Crossing party thing that I'm going to be playing soon too.
Yes.
I can't, there's just so much love that I have
Did you see the amiibo for Twilight Princess? The HD remake that they're doing? Have you seen that? They made the little wolf amiibo with the little figure. I forget the character's name.
These things are so cute. I can't even, never mind. Like my Yoshi's Woolly World amiibos, like those are something special. There's something special because it's just like your little stuffed toy. And then at the bottom, there's something in there, some kind of chip that works with your hardware. But they're so cute.
They're killing it and they're different. Like all the other games are PC, Xbox, and PS4. And you choose which one you're going to play it on.
They seem so hardcore.
And they're aggressive, they're violent, they're shooting, they're all of which are totally cool and they're fun. We've loved, the new Call of Duty is super fun. Fallout got a 10. Battlefront is terrific. We can't give it a score yet, but it's a blast of a game. Anybody that's playing it on Xbox One, best reason to have that damn EA access too. You get 10 hours for $5.
That's amazing.
You pay for a month's worth of EA access. You get the 10 hours. So 10 hours is a really great chunk of time on a multiplayer game, and they've got it all weekend. They're playing it now. If you got EA, I mean that's the best reason to have it right there. They probably have so many subscriptions happening right now because of Battlefront.
I asked some people on Twitter last night about Battlefront, like if they were playing on their Xbox because it's with EA access. And I had some people reply saying no because they tried the beta and they weren't fans of the beta. And listen, I gotta completely agree with you. I did not enjoy the beta either. I really didn't. But now that we've had so much time with it, and I've played in a different area, like a different map. There's way more to it than the map that we tried in the beta.
Yeah, just the fact that the Walker Assault isn't just the Hoth level.
No.
You do the Walker Assault on Endor. You do the Walker Assault on Tatooine. So, and that's just one mode. That's one sliver of the experience.
Yeah, and what there's 12? How many modes are there? There's so many modes.
I don't know. I love the droid one. I know
the droid run,
where you're chasing after those power droids that are just saying gonk. That's why I tweeted gonk the other day. Gonk, gonk. And you just got to try to take them over, and then everybody comes and kills you and tries to take it. And the droids they have a mind of their own, so they're just walking around. Everybody's chasing. It's funny, right?
It's funny because sometimes you want to defend the droid, of course, but you have other people going out and trying to take other droids, but they're just so annoying because they'll go into random places like, no, just stay where you are, man. Stay where you are. I've got this whole place covered.
Gonk, gonk.
I love it so much. There's so many different modes. There's just the one mode that I didn't really enjoy so much. It was that not heroes and villains. It was the hero hunt. Yeah, there's a hero hunt mode
it's cheap.
Yeah, I don't like it.
They'll fix that. The hero hunt is you get to play as any one of the Luke, Han, or Leia on the Rebel side, or Boba Fett, the best character in the game.
Oh God, so good.
Or Emperor or Darth Vader. And everybody chases after that person. The last one to kill them, no matter how many hits have been attributable to any individual, the last shot that takes that character down then becomes the hero hunt.
Right.
Then becomes the hero in the next thing.
And you don't get any points unless you take out the hero or the villain.
Yeah, because I was... Boba Fett really can lay waste. If there's a good Boba Fett player, they're going to have to balance that out. We had one guy in one of the matches that we were playing. It was Brandon from Game Trailers. He did 70 kills as Boba Fett, and he got killed twice. No. It was ridiculous. He was just jetpacking all over the map and just taking us out from every different direction.
So, like, we'll get off Battlefront in a second, but, like, literally, the second I saw Boba Fett, like, I am running in the other direction. I'm not even trying to take him out anymore because I know that if he spots me, I am done. Like, I'm absolutely done. I'm just, like, running and hiding.
I think the thing, we're going to, watch the review. Sure. We go into it a little bit more, and I don't want to pre-review it. We're not scoring it. But I think the thing for everybody to consider about Battlefront is that they have... It's a mass market video game. It's not just a shooter fan video game. It's not just a previous Star Wars Battlefront game. They want to have as many people that dig anything to do with Star Wars be involved with this. So that means that people will be pissed off. There's no way around it, right? Because everybody wants their own version of Star Wars.
Definitely.
There isn't enough content in the game. We're going to talk about that more a little bit in the review. But what's there is ridiculously enjoyable. And I'm not talking about modes. You just want to see more from Star Wars because it has a personal kind of connection to most of us or a lot of us on Earth. Yeah. So when you see that brand, you can't help but have your mind race on different ideas that you would like to see implemented in the game. Yeah. But I think DICE did an unbelievably good job with this thing, man. It's so fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun, and the music is amazing. But listen, we have a review airing soon, Tuesday. So we will talk about it more then, my friends.
When the servers, they're live now, but there will actually be people to play. Because the sad thing is to have the PS4 version and load it up and wait. Because it does the thing where you have searching for 100%. The full rooms, searching for 90%, searching
70%, and then it just goes down to settling for empty rooms. Like it literally says settling for empty rooms.
It's true. And then it's just me.
I'm all alone.
Ben Silverman, who was also at the review event, tried to party up with me, I think, to play it yesterday, and then I was doing 5 things. I was downloading the new Xbox One update. Have you seen the new?
Nerd.
It's amazing. They did a great job. It's way more streamlined. It's way quicker. It's way faster. All the information is a lot clearer. It's absolutely the right thing that they had to do. It's even the new Mario Tennis sort of front end screen. I'm seeing this in Battlefront's front end screen. It's all sort of, I think, all kind of playing off of the Windows kind of screen. Yeah. It runs on the back end of Windows 10. I think the PS4 front end kind of uses that as well a little bit, where it's all just squares and content squares, very web kind of based, but it makes it way cleaner and easier to get to everything that you want to get to. Well, that's what we want. Yeah, because it was really kind of cumbersome to try to get to messages and friend requests and all the other stuff on the previous dashboards. Much better.
I feel like we need to talk about Fallout 4 for a second because Blake is having problems, and I want Blake to talk about his problems.
Yeah, Blake is the furthest ahead in the game.
Yes.
At EP right now.
Yeah, so he's almost finished.
Because he gets up really early. And goes home earlier than everybody. He's in the office super early to write all of our rundown information.
And I want him to talk about what happened in his game.
Are you coming over?
Because I'm just gonna.
Are you getting out?
I'll just
Okay.
You can come. You can just come sit, and I'll just move.
Well, no, I'll be a chair.
What are you doing?
Well, I thought Blake would just sit top.
No, but you can come.
Okay.
There you go.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, this is Blake Siefkan. Writes our rundown, produces our podcast.
Oh, my shiny. I didn't check my.
Oh, you're fine.
It's okay.
We do got to get you a makeup.
It's Victor Lucas Dolphin's.
I'm good looking with that.
Yes, you are.
But yeah, so Fallout 4, we got our copies about a week and a half before the game came out.
Well, it was the day that we had the Pip-Boy unveiling.
Yeah,
the
so
last
two weeks ago. So
2 episodes ago. Yeah. Was it 2?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So about a week and a half before the game came out.
Yeah.
I went home and played it that night. Played it all, plowed through it all weekend, and I'm just about finished the game, the story mission. I'm like maybe 2-3 missions from the end. I'm not really sure, but I can tell everything's wrapping up. And
you're playing it on the PS4.
Playing it on the PS4.
Yep.
every time I have to go through this one door to pass the game, to advance the next level. Like my next objective is through this one door.
Yes.
Every time I open it, the game crashes.
Yeah.
Like dead.
Not
and
okay.
so
That's
I've tried.
Awful.
Yeah, I've tried going back to a previous save and working my way up. I've tried like coming at it from different angles, like try to find a different way in there.
Is anybody on the forums or anybody else talking about a game crash bug anywhere?
Well, the problem is this is like one of the last missions. I checked yesterday and it didn't look like anyone had gotten to that mission
because
yet.
it's so big and you want to go in a million different directions. Yeah. But you've been talking all the way along because I'm playing on an Xbox One.
Yes.
And it's certainly not and we talked about this in our review, it's certainly not the technical breakthrough experience, neither was Fallout 3, quite frankly, that we kind of expect on these platforms, but it's just so rich with content, it's an irrefutable escape. It's just ridiculously enjoyable. But on the PS4, you've had issues all the way along, right?
Yeah, I don't think the glitches are irrefutable.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the content is.
Yes. Oh yeah, of course. Yes. Yeah. My opinion about the game right now is that the story is awesome. The characters are awesome. The character progression is awesome. Yeah. Doing whatever you want in any way you want, but the game is too glitchy. It does not have the level of polish, in my opinion, at least on the PS4, that a AAA game like that should have.
I think that the Xbox One version might be running better, and I don't have. It's totally anecdotal.
I wouldn't be surprised
problems.
because you remember with Fallout 3, the PS3 version was terrible. It was broken.
Yeah.
And it was made
totally different architecture, but I have a feeling because I'm playing the game, and there are certainly little quirks and little things that are like. Not amazing. I can't even recall any specific one, but I think okay, well that could look cooler or that little bit. Maybe it's like a texture popping in or something like that. But it's not a big deal to me. But it sounds like you've been dealing with a lot of things along the way.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't look as good as it should. It feels dated at times. The technology in the game feels dated.
Yeah.
And you say with Fallout 3 it never felt that good, but when I played Fallout 3 there were moments where I was like, oh my god, this looks so great. Like when you first leave the vault and you see this big world in front of you, and then you go down the hill and the little radio robot is flying by. That's
the case. I'm not trying to dispute anything that you're saying, but that's kind of the case with this generation over and over again. Like even with Call of Duty, which has the biggest budgets that you can think of, it's not like they've reinvented the way to kind of show off a 3D world. You just get better facial recognition,
but that's why
facial animation.
That's why the game should run better, because it's not that much. I mean, you look at I didn't like Metal Gear Solid 5, but it was a polished game.
Yeah,
there was no point in that game where a character walks through a wall or.
Yeah, there's a couple of little bits, but
not. It's like happening It happens all the time. Fallout 4 feels buggy.
Yeah,
it feels like a buggy experience to me.
I don't know if that's an exclusive PlayStation.
It might be just the PS4. I haven't played it on the other.
I haven't played it on the PC.
What are people in the chat saying?
They're asking why we're not sitting on the couch. They're asking why we're not sitting on the couch.
I didn't like the couch because it was just too comfortable and too sitting back, I feel like this adds to the energy.
Sure, yeah. We need to sit up. We're trying to give you our
and also
best.
the lighting isn't great for being lower either, because then it's all shadows on our face and everything like that. So I feel like this is a little bit more. It's a little more eye level. It's a little closer to standing, and I think that's where the lighting is positioned. I know we blocked the TV and stuff. I know it's not perfect.
Yeah, I feel much more talk show up here.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's why we're up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my final verdict on Fallout 4, well, where I'm at right now is I cannot pass the game.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I should have been able to finish it a week ago. I cannot finish the game.
That is
now, you sent something to Bethesda. They haven't replied.
They have not replied to me, and I keep checking online. I sent them not through press contacts, but just through their normal support channels, like a regular person would. I sent them hey, I can't pass. They have not yet responded to me. I keep checking online to see if other people are going to have the same problem, but like I said earlier,
nobody wants to devour it that fast.
Nobody has gotten to the point that I put in 45 hours into this game. Like I wasn't like
I know people
rushing through it.
I know people have devoured the whole thing, and I haven't heard anything about
the
game crashing bugs.
I figured out when I was streaming the game on Monday that if I went back and went to a different faction and worked my way up from there, I would be able to finish the game because I could pass that one mission without going into that one location. I would do it in another location, but I don't want to do that because I like the faction that I'm with.
Yeah.
I'll just say it. It's the Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah. Okay, I was hoping you'd. Yeah.
It's not that much of a spoiler, but if you're trying to finish the game with the Brotherhood of Steel as your buddies, there's a mission that for me I cannot pass. That's.
I kind of want people to do that one now though, and just see if they have the same experience.
Yeah, I totally want to hear if there's more of that, and I think we should follow up with Bethesda. Let's wait to see what they say, and then let's follow up with them, and then we'll put it into the show next week if it's not working.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
And we'll put you on, and we'll interview you, as if you're just a player, like a regular person, as you said before.
Yeah,
I'm almost like a regular person. Anyway, so that's my 2 cents about.
Okay, all right.
Bye, everybody.
Are you having more fun with that than Metal Gear Solid 5? Because I know that disappointed you. Yes. Okay.
The only thing I'm disappointed about with Fallout 4 is the tech.
Okay.
Metal Gear Solid 4, 5, it was deeper than that.
Blake said the only thing he's disappointed with is the tech in Fallout 4, and he has deeper resentments and disappointments with Metal Gear Solid 5. We'll save that for an end-of-the-year podcast. But this, I mean, it is an embarrassment of riches, and there is so much to get lost in.
Yeah.
And I looked at my plastic guitars last night and thought, when the hell am I ever going to play Guitar Hero Live?
You took a long, hard look at your plastic guitars.
Yes.
And thought, what have I done with my life?
Is anybody playing Guitar Hero or Rock Band right now?
You know what? I don't even actually have a copy of it. I haven't, but I kind of just don't right now.
Yeah.
I don't want that in my life right now. I feel like we have other things going on.
Other things. I'm curious if viewers or listeners are still playing all of that stuff in the face of all of these other huge titles that are happening right now.
Okay, well, if you are,
yeah,
I mean, good for you. I just, I'd rather just go back to Animal Crossing.
Should we talk about the next enormous RPG that's
basically
it's this
so
weekend?
much time to play. Yeah, holy
this is
smokes.
our big deal. But I feel good because a lot of the bigger stuff is kind of.
I know, but you still want to play those games, though.
Fallout.
Like you still,
I want to play some more online. I want to play online Halo 5. I haven't been able to go back to that since I reviewed it either.
Yeah.
Boo.
Boo. I just
feel sorry for me, everybody. Okay.
I know, we all do.
This is the Xenoblade Chronicles
unboxing.
Special edition unboxing. Nintendo wanted us to talk about it and show it off, and of course we're absolutely happy to do that. I love collector's editions and art books.
That's Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Wii U. It's the first of the Wii U games in this franchise. Been a fan of. I was a fan of the Wii game, a fan of the 3DS game. And
this is the special edition.
I don't know
that
a ton
opening.
about the story or what they've changed or what's new about Xenoblade Chronicles X because I haven't opened. I'm unboxing it right now.
Right.
But I always dig the kind of fusion of technology and fantasy and the awesome, kind of crazy art that goes into this experience. And also like a lot of the creative choices. I think the English accents on the actors. The great combat, the real-time / turn-based style combat that they have in the game.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to getting into this thing. So it comes with a huge art book.
You like a good art book?
I do. I have many of them. I dig them. I can see Scott's sneer now.
The art book is very thick. You're right about that.
Yeah. 100 pages, I think.
It's really nice and glossy.
Yes.
I like that.
So we're going to see HD art in the Xenoblade Chronicles universe. Look at this. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Blake's going to show the camera.
Yeah, I love it. Great squishy monsters and lots of technology all over top of them.
What's that? Oh, wait, you can't keep unboxing if they can't see you unboxing.
Okay.
1 sec.
So behind the art book, we have a certificate of authenticity.
Oh.
Limited edition art print.
Oh, wow.
That I can.
That's really cool.
I can put that in one of my daughter's doll houses as art on one of their walls, I think, right there.
Are you being serious?
No, I'm not.
Okay. I can't tell. You're giving me a look like you could be serious. I don't know what to say.
This would be something that you would want to hang on a wall if it was a little larger, I think.
No, I think those tiny ones are cute,
or I guess it's desk.
It's like a desktop. You're going to put in a frame on your desktop.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, Xenoblade Chronicles. I love you so much.
Like instead of the photo of your wife, you're going to have a photo of Xenoblade Chronicles staring at you.
And the game, of course. And then what's this? I don't even know what this thing is here in the back. I think it's the soundtrack. And it's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, it's a USB drive as well. And it's in the style of these huge historic prehistoric technological kind of lumbering beasts. It's like super old.
Dongle you plug in and it has MP3s.
Oh, you've been waiting to say dongle.
He was waiting to say dongle.
Yeah, that's a little USB soundtrack right there. Smart. And you can use it for other things afterwards.
Sure,
Very cool.
Oh, hand modeling. Yes, Blake, you have very nice hands.
Nice hands, buddy.
Very well done.
So that was the unboxing. Sorry for all of you audio-only listeners of the podcast, but the box looks really cool. I don't know how much this thing costs. Nintendo sent it to us, but I'm psyched to play the game. I'm psyched to get in here. You sound like
you're getting a cold. What is that?
I think I am. I think I'm catching it.
I don't like that at all.
My family is sick, so there it is.
I don't want that. You need to stock up on your vitamin D.
I will.
Okay, so anyway, we're going to close this, and, oh shoot. Okay, sorry. I'm not trying to make any noise. There we go.
Unboxing in real time is a little nerve-wracking.
I know, but that's what it's supposed to be, right? A proper unboxing has to happen in real time.
Right.
Like you're not, even if people are posting it later, I know people just like...
Everybody's trying to sex them up right now and make them all super
is that right?
slick.
I haven't taken a look at the latest unboxing videos, but I didn't realize they were all sexed up.
Well, not really sexed up.
They're sexed up.
That's the next level. Right?
Okay, great. Now I'm going to put on my bikini when I get home and unbox something.
Girls and guys in bikinis unboxing stuff. There it is. Bam.
First heard here on Vic's Basement.
Ratings through the roof. Blake wrote us some stuff that happened this week. Notes.
Okay.
Should we answer some questions first?
Well, a couple of people were asking about the CVAs.
Right.
So
oh my God,
they're wanting to know about that a little bit more. And yes, we will be doing. You'll actually be able to be there with us if you're in Toronto. You can actually come to FanFest and be there with us while we shoot the Rocket and Ray Gun Awards. Like you can actually be there. Like if you have questions for us, whatever. Like we'll be there for you. We'll be there to take photos. Whatever you want to do, we are there. Well, not whatever you want to do. Nobody's having any sex. But we will be there for you.
That's what you think.
So if you want to come down, I don't know what.
It's on December 5th and 6th, and we were just hanging out with Ben, and Ben's the last person that we need to confirm that he's going to be there, but everybody else is coming. So Jose will be there, Sophia, Steve, Raju, Scott, Marissa, myself. Blake is going to be there. Enzo's going to be there.
OMG, Blake's going to be there too?
Yes, so it's going to be a nice group of us, and we're going to be able to celebrate this fantastic year in video games.
So many games,
with a lot of you, I hope that you guys come.
Yeah, it's a full weekend in Toronto, and so the Videogame Awards are taking place on Sunday, and we're shooting our Rocket and Ray Gun Awards at FanFest on Saturday. So it's like 2 days of excitement and fun. And
there's Xbox booth there, Nintendo booth. There's going to be indie developers on hand. We're also going to be shooting interviews with people, and that's going to be streaming live as well.
Yeah.
And if you want to know anything more, I think you want to go to the Canadian Video Game Awards website. And I think it's CanadianVideoGameAwards.com or CVAwards.com.
Honestly, I would just Google it and then see what comes up.
Many letters, many words. And on Twitter, it's CV Awards. That's it.
At
CV Awards. At CV Awards. Yes, Canadian Video Game Awards.
Put the link in the chat.
Perfect.
Oh, thanks, Blake.
Thank you.
Always helpful. Blake, I'm so excited that he's going to be there. I'm so excited that Blake's going to be in Toronto with us.
We can't make television without
No,
Blake.
we can't. We really can't. He makes everything happen for us. So I'm just excited that people will get to also meet Blake at FanFest. What do you mean? He's giving me the old, it's fine.
Should we hide the Starbucks red cups?
Oh my gosh, should we get in a debate about the Starbucks cup since everybody's so upset?
Let's not put any more time on that BS. What do you think?
Well,
I think
everybody,
people have enough
they're
in
red.
The world to
so you want to design on it, draw your own. It's no big deal. You're just going to drink the cup. You're going to drink whatever's in the cup. You're going to toss it in the garbage anyway. Hopefully you recycle. But other than that...
Talk about a waste of energy. Right?
I know, but listen, I feel like a lot of the arguments that people get in online are a huge waste of energy.
Yeah.
So this is just another one to add to the list.
Definitely more important things to think about and talk about these days.
Star Wars.
Like Star Wars. And we reported on it today, so it's in a show I think on Monday or Tuesday about the fact that it bummed me the hell out.
It's a Wednesday show, I think.
Okay, well Star Wars may not have any pre-release screenings for the critics, which is the worst news I've heard in 2015.
No,
quite
this is
frankly.
just a rumor,
it's just
of
a rumor.
Course,
yeah.
and it's just if this turns out to be true, they're gonna have a lot of backlash. And I know it sounds like we're complaining because we're not going to get what we want.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of that for sure. But also remember that we were banking on doing that so we could bring you a review when it's actually time to go and watch the movie. Like, we don't break any embargoes, but we give you our review when the movie is released.
It's scheduled for the 18th. The review is.
Right, when the movie comes out. And it was going to be
just like when we did the Avengers review with Scott and Marissa and myself.
Like all three of us?
All three of us talking about the
My
the
R2-D2 dress is already ready to go.
Yes.
So, really excited about that, but also because we don't know about this. We don't know if it's real or not real, but we didn't purchase advance tickets.
No.
To go and see the movie on the 18th.
I didn't think that was fair either. I feel
of course not.
Like if we're going to get critic tickets to go and see this thing, it's not cool that I'm taking tickets away from somebody that wants to go.
But if we don't know that that's happening, if we didn't know that was happening until now, then what were we to do?
Yeah, so...
Okay, so that's
Pray
complaining.
for us, Argentina. I don't know.
No. Are you trying to do Don't Cry for Me, Argentina?
Yeah, don't cry for us.
Okay, all right.
Pray for us that we get tickets to go, or that we get to see a critic screening. It'll really suck. It'll really suck, but it's Disney's call. I can understand some of the reasoning behind it. They're saying that the rumor is that they don't want anything leaked. Not that we would ever leak. But there are some asshole critics out there that do spoil things.
Yeah, you know what? And that is, again, why I hate when people spoil it for the rest of the class. This happens so much.
I just tweeted about that yesterday, and I am staying off Twitter a little bit more these days because of the amount of spoilerage around The Force Awakens now. There's new TV commercials. They're doing the long haul marketing right now. They're doing the... They got us all in, all the fanboys and girls that are already totally gung-ho for new Star Wars. We're in. We bought our tickets. It's already going to be the biggest opening forever. But now they have to market for the long tail, and some of the people that are skeptical or have other things to be concerned with, like red Star Wars cups, about Starbucks cups. So now they're trying to market and show that this is going to be a really astounding film, and so more and more information is becoming readily available, and then there's more and more dissection of all of this stuff, and more discussion.
Can you not mute tweets involving something? Can you not do that?
I think you can.
Yeah. So I just don't like the idea that you're staying off of Twitter because of that. Like, people enjoy your tweets.
I'm just zipping past any of the Star Wars stuff. I'm not clicking on links.
He's still on Twitter. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm it's freaking me out. You know where I'm on? You know when I'm on Twitter the most?
When?
During cutscenes that are boring in games.
Really?
Yes. If I am bored, if I just am not invested in a game's very expensive story.
Okay, you need to give me an example, obviously.
Well, I mean, Call of Duty. I think it's interesting, this sort of future tech stuff that they have. They always work their butts off to try to build stuff. But, pretty much it's like Bro 1 talking to Bro 2, and then we got to go in and
you had a lot of that in Need for Speed as well.
And a lot of that, I could handle. It was fascinating to watch that debacle for a little while, but then it was like, okay, Twitter time. What's going on with you, rest of the world? When you got everybody sort of fist bumping everybody.
Sure,
we should
have
called it Need for Speed fist bump.
Aww.
That would have been huge.
I thought that when you guys, because you guys were talking about that a lot, you and Scott were talking about Need for Speed and the story of Need for Speed and how terrible it was. And then you gave the game like a 7. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. I guess so everything else about the game is good except for that. It's
a solid game, and it looks really fantastic. I wish it had some daytime stuff, but I like the way they split off into different kind of disciplines. And I don't even mind the live action shooting. I just think it was poorly done. I like the idea. I think the actors are competent, but they just kind of botched it, and it just became so cheesy. And part of it is that and it's the same kind of complaint I have about James Bond as well, is that you can't T-rate this stuff. These are criminals, and you can't sugarcoat it. These guys are being chased by cops. They're doing illegal things that are incredibly dangerous. They cannot be the hot topic mall-based criminals sort of gathering together in their fictional garage to kind of, talk about how awesome they are at collecting cars.
Okay.
Without swearing, without violence, without some sexual kind of tension, without something that feels more in tune with the lives of truly like scumbag people that would go off and put people in danger to drive around like that.
Mature things, so you wanted an M rating. Also, you made a very good point in your review that the character you don't know anything about, so why can't you choose a female character also? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
It's a faceless avatar who doesn't get to have a line of dialogue in the thing. And the relationships mean nothing. It's all incredibly superficial. Now, my James Bond comment is that this was a film series born out of a book series written for male adults, and it was like written for the Playboy consumer, you know, of the 1950s and 60s. And
like what's like Ivana Pussy? What's the like?
Oh, and it's all of that stuff, the double entendre bullshit that was contrived to begin with and made worse in the in the films. But in 2015, it just felt so, you know, artificial and inauthentic to have James Bond not get bloody, you know, or there not to be any real tangible violence in some of these sequences, and there's no real sexuality, there's no real kind of heat. And Casino Royale did deliver all of that. You know, they got very close to feeling like this is a spy movie made for adult fans of this franchise.
I don't know why we just can't have more Casino Royale action. I wanted that. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Spectre. I've only seen the first 15 minutes of Spectre, and I decided that I didn't want to invest more of my time in Spectre.
The action's okay. It's not even about that. It's
like, give me a dirty look.
It just Spectre or Skyfall?
No, Spectre.
How did you see the first
I walked out. I was in Toronto and I walked out.
She walked out on Spectre.
I walked out.
I enjoyed the movie, but it just feels like they, again, like the mechanics are all solid. The touch points of the Bond franchise all represented, but they made a Bond for kids thing, and that they either need to, they can't have it both ways. They can't be in the middle ground. It's the same thing with Need for Speed. They can't be this be-all, catch-all kind of service that just feels so fake and forced, you know, and especially now that consumers have so many different choices and so many different ways to engage with this stuff, you got to go all in for that crowd and be authentic, and you're going to get a bigger audience based on that, you know. Imagine if Need for Speed came out and said, you know, we're going to go, you know, like a hard T. I don't even know if that exists right now. So it's still available for teens
like
of a certain
T+.
age. I think there's like a T13 or something like that or whatever. But you know, with some swearing and with some real attitude and some real menace and some danger and some consequences for breaking the law, because you're doing that in this thing. Maybe you get beat up by the cops, or one of your crew dies right at the beginning of the game, so you know, so you can feel the dangers of this stuff. That's the thing that games.
I see.
Racing games need to represent a lot. Is not just the cars get banged up, but there needs to be loss of life, you know, for you to feel like, oh my God, you know, I can't miss this corner because it's going to have some real significance.
Yeah.
And Bond should have that as well, you know. It shouldn't just be like this famous character is going to die who's played this long-standing franchise thing, but it's okay because another famous actor is going to fill that same type of role, and it's just going to be cute and wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and let's carry on with the same. Like, I mean, Casino hinted at a full reinvention and a full different approach to all of this stuff.
I know.
And they kind of squandered it. You know?
They really did.
Skyfall was cool, but it, you know, nothing that they've made with Craig has lived up to Casino, and that's a drag.
Skyfall wasn't cool.
And it's weird that I'm putting the two together, but I have similar kinds of viewpoints on both of those franchises.
That is weird. I think it's the first time Need for Speed and Spectre or James Bond have been used to compare against one another.
Yes,
so my hat's off to you, Victor Lucas.
All right.
No one else is making these comparisons. You heard it here on Vic's Basement.
It comes down to like not just building something to make money, but building something to kind of shake things up on a cultural level or a creative level.
Sure, yeah. I get it.
Speaking of which, J.J. Abrams is making a video game.
I know.
And we don't know anything about Spy Jinx right now except that it's coming. And we talked a little bit about that today.
Probably going to have premium stuff. I think we can bank on that, or he can bank on that.
With Chair Interactive, who made, what was that spy game that they made? It was the 2D, it had a kind of a generic title. It's playable on Xbox One now. It's an Xbox 360 game, super cool game, Shadow Complex. That was a fun title. So they've sort of worked in that space before. This is the company headed by Donald Mustard, who worked on Advent Rising, which Tommy did the music for. And that
my God, there's Tommy.
There's Tommy. That was one of the most ambitious game concepts I'd ever heard, but they certainly put the cart before the horse on that one. That was one where they were giving $1 million away to the player that got to this point, but then somebody gamed the system and broke it, and they had to cancel that, and the publisher got in all kinds of hot water.
Oh, no.
And they had a whole trilogy planned before they had sold anything.
How do you
on the
promise
first...
$1 million to somebody, though?
I don't know.
How?
That was a not so Not so launch, but they...
Like 100,000 maybe, and that's like a lot.
Well, Chair found its way back out of that,
yeah.
Issue, and I don't even know if they were called Chair then, but I know that Donald ran the company. And then Shadow Complex was awesome. They were bought by Epic, and then they did this Infinity Blade franchise, which turned out to be one of the most successful game franchises.
I cannot
on,
believe that
tablet.
game. Well, it really showed off what the tablet could do, and I think that's what I enjoyed the game for. Really, it wasn't even so much for the gameplay. It was that showing off that, you know what, actual games can be played on this thing, and they can look beautiful.
And they can be meaningful. That's what JJ says in the video.
Oh.
And so he wants to work with these guys on a spy thing, and throw in some RPG stuff and some
world building. So we know what that means. Somebody asked, just to go back to Bond, will Idris Elba be Bond?
I would love that, but
Blake says no.
Well, that was Jaylan who asked that question. He's my GTA buddy.
Okay.
Shout out to Jaylan.
Hi, Jaylan. I thought he was going to answer
I don't
the question.
think Idris Elba is going to be Bond. I think that he's built up too much of a career around the other things that he's done. I think he's got a better shot at being Luther on the big screen.
I know, but I would buy that. I think
he
Idris
would be
Bond.
a great Bond.
Somebody also said Scott Jones for Bond.
Scott Jones for Bond. There you go.
He wouldn't get anything done.
Get into a gunfight. Come on, guys. Let's talk about this.
Or he'd like drop his gun and be like, "Why are we so stupid?"
I'm so stupid.
He does it a lot. Those are like behind the scenes things that you guys don't see, but when we do stuff in studio, if he screws up a line or like we don't really have lines, we do everything off the cuff, but if he messes up something that we're doing, he'll just stop, everything stops. He's like, "Oh, why am I so stupid?" He'll do that.
He is very dashing and debonair, though. He could pull all that off.
He is very dashing in a suit, and he has a lot of nice suits. You know what? Yeah, okay.
He could pull
Maybe.
that off.
He could pull it off.
I think they're going to go younger. I mean, especially if I was running that franchise, that's what I would do. I would do another clean slate reboot and start. I would probably even think of a period kind of concept.
Somebody just said Tom Cruise.
No, come on. That's a joke. Tom Cruise was supposed to be Iron Man.
What? Really?
They were chasing him before Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, man, that would have been a mistake.
Yeah, I think he would have pulled it off.
No, Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man.
Oh, he's perfect. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Cruise is good, though.
Cruise is great.
He's crazy, but all of his movies are really fun to watch. I think he would have been.
Actor,
he would have been fun in something like that.
He would have been, but I still wouldn't. I don't think I'd buy it. Still, as great of an actor as he is, I don't. I feel like you need something else there. You need to have that sharp wit that I feel like only Junior.
RDJ, are you kidding? Like Marvel, almost the whole thing is built on how good his character is.
Oh God, I know. Like there wouldn't be this many Iron Man movies if it wasn't Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
like if it was Tom Cruise, no way.
He changed everything. But Doug Liman, who directed Edge of Tomorrow, he's doing a superhero movie.
A fantastic movie, by the way. If you haven't seen Edge of Tomorrow, you should see it.
What's the superhero movie that I just read it today? The Gambit movie, with Channing Tatum. So now I'm super.
Not with fucking what's his name?
Taylor Kitsch.
Taylor Kitsch.
I don't want Channing Tatum. I want Taylor Kitsch.
Taylor Kitsch is from an era that it didn't work. He was the Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern.
Do you know what? Exactly. But
Gambit.
I feel like, listen, Taylor Kitsch is a great actor, and he's had a lot of bad movies, or movies that haven't done well.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not on him. It's not his fault. He's signed up with movies that haven't gone well. He's been great on television. He didn't have enough to do as Gambit.
Channing Tatum's pretty awesome, though.
No, Channing Tatum was fine, but he's in everything.
Honestly, who would have thought that the guy that did the dancing stuff and the Magic Mike guy, he's actually pretty cool.
I still haven't seen Magic Mike. I still haven't seen any of those.
He's really good in front of the camera.
He is great, for sure. But
I'm excited to see what he does with Gambit.
He has enough money and enough attention. I want people to pay more attention to Taylor Kitsch.
I'm pretty sure Taylor Kitsch doesn't want to be Gambit either.
What?
I'm pretty sure he has moved on and wants to do other things.
Absolutely not. Taylor Kitsch, just give me a call, man. Let's talk about your Gambit situation. I feel like you do still want to be Gambit, because why wouldn't you want to be Gambit? Although he didn't have the
Doug Liman
draw.
is now doing a superhero movie. You happy
That's great.
about that?
Yes, I am.
That is exciting. That's almost like Martin Campbell doing another Bond movie.
Doug Liman, can you just do an audition with Taylor Kitsch?
He already made a superhero movie called The Bourne Identity.
Yes.
That's a superhero.
I know. You could say all of these larger-than-life heroes are superheroes for sure. But Edge of Tomorrow is a superhero movie. It's a superhero / video game movie. Yeah.
Everything's a superhero movie.
Yes, you are right. That's why superhero movies are not a genre. They're not a genre, and you can interpret them and make them totally unique and different, and they can coexist, and they won't go away. Thank you very much, Steven Spielberg, who tried to relate to superhero movies as if they were Westerns. And Westerns are totally different. That's setting a theme in a period in a certain time with a certain viewpoint. Superhero, you could have a Western superhero movie.
Blake is disagreeing. If you have something to say, you pick up that microphone.
Superhero movies?
Yeah.
Nah.
I do think they will go away eventually.
What?
Not anytime soon.
Superhero,
like not in our lifetime.
I'm talking 20, 30 years.
Superhero media, ever since superheroes have been brought on the scene, it is part and parcel of 20th century media creation. Superheroes were the serials that people were watching back in the 30s, which influenced Star Wars and lots of other titles out there. There were other things too, science fiction and lots of stuff, but superheroes have been around in media, in cartoon form, on radio plays, in television shows and serials, consistently since comic books have come out. They haven't always been good, they haven't always been big budget, but people have been trying this over and over again. They're not going anywhere.
Oh my God, I really hope that Wonder Woman movie is going to be good.
Me too.
Oh my God.
Well, Supergirl's great. The TV show is
Supergirl is good, but it's a TV show. I don't know how it would do as a movie. It might be okay. I feel like Supergirl herself is perfectly cast. My God.
She's great. But they're carving it out. They're showing us that you can have these flashy costumes and exist in a reality that kind of makes sense. I can't wait for this Jessica Jones show.
Kind of makes sense. Yeah, that should be good too. But I don't.
And that's going to show you can do a superhero thing in a totally different direction.
I'm just excited that, here's the thing though. I feel like these superheroes that we're seeing, like Jessica Jones and Supergirl, they're being shown on television. Well, Netflix as well. But and that's an easier sell, I think. But if you were to, because somebody made a comment in here about having a Jane Bond. I think they're getting into a whole transgender thing here in the chat. But doing like a Jane Bond, like actually having a female Bond would never fly. Like that would never sell tickets. I don't think that would ever work. But if you had something like that on television, maybe it would. I think that I don't know if it's an easier sell to have a female superhero on television over movies.
I think that's not fair to women.
Trust me, I know.
To just change a character that's got so much history into a female type thing. I mean, maybe there's a sister.
Well, they did that for
Thor.
Like yeah. They changed Thor into a woman.
Yeah, but Thor is a god. Thor, step one, so maybe that's a title that can be passed. Like the god of Thor is a mantle that people sort of assume of different sexes. But James Bond
has to be a guy.
That's the name. That's the.
But then you just think of like spy movies like that, and I don't. And
unless what they could do is that James Bond could be the code name.
Yeah.
And that could answer why there have been so many different faces, and then there could be a Jane Bond. Yeah. That could be kind of cool narrative.
Blake doesn't like it.
No, none of them have taken place in the same continuity. It's not a code name.
But they could almost, look at the crazy way that they loop together the continuity of the 4 past movies in Spectre, that didn't make any sense at all. So why not just have some villain say, yeah, all of these adventures that were crazy set up in different things.
Every new Bond is a
pick up your microphone.
I know, but somebody could bid that fiction. Somebody could build that fiction, no problem. And all they would have to do is they wouldn't have to say that movie is a direct reference to this thing. I'm fixing their problem right now. So if Eon Productions wants to get in touch with me, I'll figure this out for you.
Is your Screenwriters Guild card?
I should get that working, right? Yeah, all they would have to say is that previous adventures like the trip to Tokyo and meeting Tiger Tanaka and all that stuff.
They tried to address this with having the different actors in. What was the one where Blofeld had all the mud and shit on his face?
Diamonds Are Forever.
Yeah. So they
also
pretended
and in On Her Majesty's Secret Service, George Lazenby says this never happened to the other guy after he. Yes, but there was an on-screen kind of nod to the fact that this is always changing. That's how they do it. James Bond is a code name, just like 007 is.
Right.
And Jane Bond is the new 007.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, would that actually sell tickets? And I feel like it
almost. Wonder Woman does well. Supergirl does well for a little while. Next couple of years, something like that could happen. But before any of that happens,
in movie theaters, I feel like it's too much of a gamble for these execs to give women the lead. Though it's too much of a gamble, and I feel it. I feel it even watching. Because I'm thinking, as if you switched out, like if you had a spy movie with a female lead, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's going to sell tickets.
Skyfall was the biggest James Bond movie so far.
Yes.
They made so much money.
And it was not very good.
They follow it up with a Daniel Craig, Sam Mendes collaboration, and it kind of falls flat on its face.
Yeah.
And this is a brand that needs reinvention.
It does.
And it needs to kind of grow with the times, and it needs to kind of grow up a little bit. And all of that stuff was hinted with Casino Royale, and I think kind of, they just let it slide and they squandered it a little bit. But they have to do that again. Now, I don't think changing to Jane Bond right away, but in 10 years' time, they could do that, especially if there is a
that's what I mean. It would have to be 10 years from now, because I feel it. I of course would want to see a woman up there, of course, but I just know that.
You know who I want as James Bond?
Who?
John Boyega.
You want John Boyega
as
James
Bond?
As Blake is shaking his head.
That's what I want. I want them to shake things up in a big way and start him when he's young.
I don't know if I want that. You know who I want as James Bond?
Who?
Taylor Kitsch.
Oh my God. A Canadian?
No, Taylor Kitsch isn't Canadian. Taylor Kitsch isn't Canadian.
He's Canadian.
No way. Is he actually Canadian?
He's from Vancouver.
Oh my God.
Yes.
He's from Vancouver?
Yes,
Why haven't I seen you in Vancouver,
so.
Taylor Kitsch?
Yeah,
what's your
Canadian.
deal? Okay, so just hit me up, whatevs.
Remember what I said about you not being married?
Oh, yeah.
This might be the route right there. You're trying to pick up dudes on your podcast.
Let's just relax.
Right
I'm
now.
not.
Okay. Taylor Kitsch, call me.
That's right, because an entree ain't as good without
my
someone
boyfriend's
else.
good with it. My boyfriend, you just call me. You're my whenever, whatever.
I'm just.
For the record, Taylor Kitsch was born in Kelowna, BC.
Right.
Oh my God,
Kelowna,
Taylor
BC
Kitsch.
is a really shitty little town. I don't.
Oh, come on.
Blake,
what is this?
Kelowna is not.
Kelowna
Kelowna's
is
beautiful.
cool. Wow.
Shout out to Kelowna.
Seriously, no. Kelowna
Dude,
is
0
beautiful.
out of 10 on that comment. That's
Listen,
brutal.
that was so mean. Listen, Kelowna is lovely. It really is. Oh, okay, so Taylor Kitsch, I'm sorry, you're
Man, they
Canadian.
are going to have anti-Blake Siefkin
Seriously.
banners all over that place.
Welcome to Kelowna, except for you, Blake Siefkin.
The mayor of Kelowna is going to reach out to you, man. Give you the key to the city. Come and change your opinion.
No. Kelowna is lovely. But
Brutal.
also, Diego Luna could also be James Bond.
Wow.
Listen, Diego Luna could be James Bond. What? Like, thanks for that.
Yeah. Anyways, that is going to be an interesting next few years, because I think they're probably going to sit this one out for a little while. We will not hear about new James Bond movie until, 2015? I think we will not hear about a new one until 2018, and it'll be 2019 before a new one comes. I would suspect.
It depends if Daniel Craig does another one.
He's not going to do another one.
He might.
I doubt it.
He might.
Well, if they give him a script that's something like Casino Royale, then maybe.
I'm as big a fan as they come for that guy and what he did for Bond. I don't want him back. The minute he said, I'd rather commit suicide with this glass than play James Bond again.
I can't believe no.
I don't want him, even if he's joking. F you, Daniel Craig. You don't get to say that.
No.
That's totally not cool. You're making light of suicide, and you're making light of one of the greatest opportunities you can have in a creative medium.
When and where was this set, and how many drinks had he had?
He's blunt like that. I respect that. That's fine. But that is just a piss poor comment and a piss poor attitude, and I know it affected the box office.
Victor Lucas don't accept that shit.
I
can tell you that right now.
I think it's terrible, and I think that longtime fans who had it out for him anyways because he was blonde and didn't look like any of the previous handsome James Bond guys. He had to kind of prove himself, which he did.
It's true. That is true. I didn't think he was handsome until he was James Bond.
He proved himself, right?
I mean, what the hell?
People were raging about that choice.
I know.
He did not look like Pierce Brosnan.
He did not.
Look at the dudes that had played James Bond before. If Sean Connery wasn't exactly he was perfect, but he wasn't exactly like the most handsome dude in the world.
Can you give me Sean Connery right now?
Can I give you Sean Connery right now?
That's very good.
But he became the sex symbol of the time through that role, But Roger Moore looked like a Sears model, and Pierce Brosnan had to be one of the most handsome dudes that was working out there. And then Daniel Craig, he looked like he was like a boxer.
So would you accept Jeremy Renner as James Bond?
Hell no.
No, I agree, because he is no Bond.
No way.
You can be Hawkeye. You can have that.
You know who should be Hawkeye? Jennifer
Taylor
Lawrence.
Kitsch. Oh. Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence.
The best Hawkeye was Alan Alda.
Alan Alda.
That's nice. Nice shout out to MASH.
Fell flat.
Nice shout out to MASH. Okay, so Snowpiercer TV series. We did Doug Liman, Gambit.
Shoot, how much time do we have?
We've done a whole bunch of these already.
Oh, sucks.
Snowpiercer TV show. We're going to be talking about that, and then in the show, and then Nintendo Direct. They're talking about microtransactions in free-to-start games that Nintendo is doing.
Yeah, but free to start. Not. I don't want it to be like a free to play, like a constantly begging me for money while I play these games.
I think that games need to go back to demos. They need to let you taste. Because we can get to these things so much easier now than we ever had before. So let us taste these things if we like them. It's like this EA Access plan.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what the conversion is, because you only get to try it for 10 hours. And it's going to be interesting to see. And then you get a percentage off if you. I sound like an ad for EA Access, but you get a percentage off.
You've been talking a lot about it today.
But I mean, it's kind of cool. Like
no, it is cool. I know, but it's like this.
It's cool.
This is not brought to you by EA Access.
But it's cool news for the business that stuff like this exists, because it's a great way to get people fired up about buying a game that's worth their money.
Sure.
Quite frankly. So I'm curious to see what the conversion rate. I hope EA releases that stat after people try it for the 10 hours. That's a long time in that multiplayer game. How many people then go and buy that game for their Xbox One after that? Because that could change the business. That alone, right there.
I just want to go back to James Bond for 1 second, because somebody made a great comment.
Okay.
Paul Rudd.
No. I love Paul Rudd though. I saw Ant-Man again on one of our plane trips.
I know, I love him so much.
That movie was great. I didn't think
it wasn't great. It was okay.
It's really a great movie.
It's a good movie.
But it's almost better for television than it is on a big screen.
A lot of things are better for television.
Because you can see the subtleties and the sort of smaller scale details in the performances and in the effects and all that. Everybody did a great job in that movie. I wanted more Wasp, and now that's what the next one's called.
Oh.
Did you know that?
No.
Ant-Man and Wasp.
Ant-Man and Wasp.
And so that means Evangeline Lilly, who, up until this new movie, her best role on television was on our show.
EP Daily.
She is going to be a major Marvel superhero, which I think
like
is
not
incredible.
Lost. Her best role on TV was EP Daily.
No, but I just think that's fantastic, and I'm so happy for her. But,
of course, yeah.
I loved Ant-Man. I really thought it was a fantastic movie. And I've been thinking about Avengers and Ant-Man, and the two best superhero things that came out this year was Paul Rudd as Ant-Man and the Hulkbuster.
Oh, wow. Blake is just like shaking his head like crazy.
He didn't like him? Come on. No? Pick up your microphone. Tell us why.
Voice your opinion, Blake.
Well, you know my opinion about the Avengers.
You didn't like the Avengers
remember I
2.
didn't like the new one.
Right.
And Ant-Man was just meh.
You got to see him again.
Nah.
Ant-Man was a little better than that, but it wasn't like, a 10. It was like a 7. It was a 7.
Yeah, it was a solid.
I said it was my least favorite Marvel movie, and it's gone up some notches since then. I put a whole list together of all my favorite Marvels.
It felt empty. It felt like an empty movie.
It's really fun.
A lot of that might have been knowing the baggage behind it and how it was made.
Yes.
And how it was sort of like pieced together at the last minute because they lost their director and everything.
Well, I felt like it didn't they didn't carry the riffs far enough. It didn't get funny enough. But there's heart in it, Yeah, and when you watch it again, it's like, yeah, I see it. And Michael Pena is unbelievable in that movie.
They should have released it before.
Michael Pena, but yeah, he's not like. We need more of him.
They should have released it before the Avengers. Because after the Avengers and then that, it felt like... It felt like
You're right,
It felt like a much smaller...
It did feel like a smaller movie. But I loved all of the... he falls in love with the ants, and he really uses them to carry out his plans.
It was very Honey, I Shrunk the Kids for a little while there, though.
I loved all that.
Yeah.
I really dug that movie.
Just to go back to more suggestions, everyone's really jumping in here on the chat.
Production meeting.
Mark Wahlberg for... Bond, say hello to the villain for me.
My name's Bond. No, that's
why are you always Christopher Walken?
That was Christopher Walken.
Every single time. Listen, anytime you ask him to do any kind of impression, it always goes back to Christopher Walken. And it
Christopher Walken.
I know, but we'll even be doing the news in studio, Bond. And all of a sudden he just sounds like Christopher Walken. Like nobody asked you for that bit.
James Bond.
Christopher Walken for Bond.
Stand still, low fouled. I want to
somebody did
shoot you.
Also say Victor Lucas or Blake Siefkin for Bond.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Blake is shaking his head.
Marissa Roberto for Jane Bond.
For Jane Bond.
Yes.
No problem, I'm on it. First Wonder Woman, then Jane Bond.
No, not Mark Wahlberg. I want John Boyega or
Diego Luna.
Someone young. And or they can go period with the movie and the franchise and almost start everything over again like it's based in the 60s and carry it on from there. I think that would be fascinating. They could even remake some of those movies.
Would you watch Liam Hemsworth Bond?
Let's talk about Liam Hemsworth.
You like Liam Hemsworth, I think.
Well, I because we just watched a new movie that we can't talk about yet, but he's in it. And
I wonder what movie that is.
Yeah. And I can't talk about the movie. I can't tell people why I was thinking about this, but I think he would be good as the young Harrison Ford. I think that he has that kind of look, and he's carrying himself on screen just fine.
Yep.
I think he could be a good Han Solo and or younger Indiana Jones. I'd never considered him before.
Or James Bond.
Nah, not James Bond. He's Australian, though.
There you go.
What about Randa Rousey as Jane Bond?
Yeah, I love it. You know what? She's getting better as an actress for sure. And that woman seriously kicks so much butt, literally and figuratively. I can't even I'm an absolute fan.
I love her too.
Yeah,
much better than Gina Carano.
Yeah, it's a little bit harder to watch her act, to be honest. And she's been doing it for a little bit longer.
Yeah. I like Gina Carano too, but she just doesn't have she's too worried about how she's looking or something. I think she's too self-conscious.
I think there's
she's
some
in
of that.
Heist, which is terrible, which is out today.
So bad.
Yeah, don't see that movie.
Anyway, I really need to pee.
Okay, and I think we really need to come up with a
I've been holding
separate
it for a long time.
Let's Cast a Movie podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? This is fun. This is fun. And we can work everybody into it. I think we could do a movie and a game.
Appreciate all your suggestions.
Yes, I think that would be a lot of fun.
But there was no Taylor Kitchen there. I don't know why.
Yeah, or Taylor Swift.
Before you pee, what are you watching and playing this weekend?
Oh my god. All I can think about is urine right now.
Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
I'll be playing that. And Fallout. So goodbye weekend.
Yeah, Fallout. Oh my god. Still playing Animal Crossing. Happy Home Designer. Holler.
And what am I getting caught up on? I guess a little more Arrow.
I gotta watch more Supergirl on episode 4, and then we're gonna bring you our review of Supergirl next week.
Yes.
And also Scott is doing his TED Talk, so we're going to try to
and we'll be at TEDx Vancouver. So say hi to us if you see us there.
Yeah.
Okay?
So and also good luck to Mr. Scott C. Jones because it's kind of a big deal.
We
TED
love
Talk.
you, Scott.
We do.
Kick some butt. And we love all of you guys for tuning in. Thank you
so
very
much for
much
watching.
for listening to us, for watching, and supporting us. You all rock. Stitcher!
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Vic's Basement would like to thank its sponsors, EB Games, Nintendo, Xbox, and Gameloft, makers of Dragon Mania Legends, which you can play for free right now.